What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Natty Gains. Guys, we're going to teach you how to squat properly today, show you different forms, exactly how you want to be doing it for the best results on your squat. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. First and foremost, you got to have a squat bar. So whenever squatting, your feet placement are going to be huge. You know, you'll see a lot of people either squatting like this, or you'll see some people out here like this, and then you get, you know, all the way out here, your wide stance, which is also called a sumo. Your best stance for just your overall general squat is going to be right outside of shoulder width. So right here, you're going to have your big toe slightly pointed out. This is going to be your overall squat placement. This is going to hit your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, a little bit of everything perfectly. Now, when you're going down, you want to pretend you're like sitting in a chair. So you look up, keep your chest up, pretend you're sitting in a chair, go down, and you know, you'll see some people go all the way down here. You don't need to be doing that, and you don't want to be that guy stopping right here. You want to get down to that nice 90-degree angle, keeping this chest up, looking up, and then you're exploding through your heels. You want all the weight driving through the heels of your feet. So you're looking up, chest is staying up, back is straight, down to that 90-degree, drive through the heels. That is going to be the main thing you want to focus on in your squats. So if you guys haven't already, you can check out our feet placement video on the leg extension and leg curls. It's very similar to that. On when your feet are closer together, you're going to be hitting this outer quad. Now when you go mid, you're going to be working a little bit of everything. That's why this is generally your best stance for feet placement, is right outside shoulder width, with your bigger toe slightly just pointed out. Now when you go wider, or a sumo, what you're really going to be hitting is that inner quad and more hamstring and glute. So depending on what your goals are, if you're working on, you want a lot more outer quad or you want more inner quad, it's going to depend on where you put your feet. So close together, outer, further out, inner, right there in the nice middle, shoulder width, a little bit of everything. That's what I recommend, especially if you're a beginner.
All right, so a quick note about equipment you might want to use when you're doing your squats. A lot of people have different ankle mobility issues and they got their preferences and all that, but what you mainly want when you're doing your squats is a solid base that you're standing on. So tennis shoes are going to be a no-go for when you're doing squats. We don't recommend doing that. You're going to want something that's very solid. So I got my shoes here and I'm actually barefoot at the moment. Some people will squat barefoot, some people will get certain squat shoes, and they got different heel raises as well, or you can use Chuck Taylor's like what David here is wearing. It's a nice flat and pretty solid sole at the bottom. That's what you want. You don't want anything that's squishy, because that could just kind of like, you can crank your foot in the wrong way when you're doing your squats, both heavy and light. So you don't want that. And even in the old days, excuse me, in the old days, people would just put their heels on either a small plate or a piece of wood, just to kind of give them that heel raise right there. Like I said, solid base, ankle mobility, that's what everybody's gonna have to kind of find out and play around with to figure out what is gonna be most comfortable. So try it out. All right, so next up we got ourselves some knee sleeves right here. What these are mostly gonna do, they're gonna keep your joints nice and tight during the squat. When you're coming down right here, and you get down to the bottom of the squat, these will kind of assist you in a way. They're not like knee wraps, or they're not like a belt. They're gonna kind of give you that little extra oomph of just coming out of the bottom of the squat there. It takes just a little bit of pressure off of those knee joints. So they're very, you know, they're great for getting your mobility down during the squat. They're great for taking some of the pressure off. So that's a really good option to have if you want to go with that. And also, get ourselves a lifting belt here. And these would be very crucial when you're doing some of those heavier weights that you can't handle. What you're going to want to do during your squats is brace your torso, basically. You're going to have to get your breathing down and just brace everything. This will really help just support the spine as you're going down. Because once you have weight on your back, you're going to be coming down like so, and a lot of the stress is going to be coming around this area here. So that belt is going to help you keep everything supported throughout the entire range of motion. So these are some options for you to help you get your squats down a lot better over time. It can help you gain more strength and all that. Do not look at these as crutches. These will help you with your overall squat movements.
All right, one other thing you guys need to know is where to put this bar on your back. These, you don't use them. We don't use sponge pads. You don't need them. You got muscles back here. They're called traps. Utilize them. So you're gonna get this right under on the top of your traps. It's just gonna sit there. It's gonna sit right on your traps, and then you're simply going to keep your hands, you know, nice and tucked. You don't want your elbows flying out. This is nice and tucked. And when you're going down, it's just, that's what it's doing. It's sitting right there on your traps. And you almost want to pretend like you're not going to shoulder press this, but you want to pretend you're about to just take this bar through the roof. That's how your hands want to be. They're nice, your elbows are tucked, this is tight, it's sitting on your traps, you're going down. It's all one movement. Another thing you can do is some people like to sit the bar a little further back, call this low bar, is just put it a little lower, go down, same as anything else. But the biggest thing right there, still keep the elbows tucked, the hands straight. It's really about your preference on what you prefer. Some people like the bar a little lower on them, some people prefer it on the traps, but what you don't want to do, be bending over and put it on your neck. Don't be putting it on your neck, and don't be using a sponge. Build some traps and then put the bar on those, okay guys? Alright guys, now that we know how to properly squat, get into the gym, have some fun with it. Make sure you're doing the proper form because we don't want any injuries and we want the best results possible. For more videos, stay tuned at Natty Gains and have a great day.